Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. This is Barbara. This is a general timeless reading. It's entertainment purpose only. If it does not resonate, please do not try to make it fit. Watch out for scammers. I am not reaching out in any way. This is my disclaimer. It's not me to do private readings. That is not me. So that's my disclaimer. Thank you very much for liking. Thank you very much for subscribing. We're trying to build my channel. I've been having a few difficulties. Actually getting my content out there, and I really seriously need to build up my subscribers and my likes. So if you're watching, please press like or subscribe now if it's possible. Or if you like the content, by all means. Today we're doing the Rider's Waite. It's a white deck. They're hard to see. They're glossy. Okay, we have my Oracle card that I'm using. And for the clarifiers... sorry. I should have had that ready. The Queer Tarot for the clarifiers. And I'm using the Oracle of E by Pam Grout and Colette Baron-Reed for my Oracle cards. Bear with me. Anybody who's watched me before knows that I'm doing 3 cards. Spirit guide me. And then we'll go from there. Okay. Ask for protection from Archangel Michael and guidance for today's timeless energy. Too many. Guidance for the timeless energy for today. Ask for the guidance for the timeless energy. Protection from Archangel Michael and the guidance for the timeless energy. Protection and guidance for the timeless energy. The Page of Swords. Now this kind of came up like kind of straight. It didn't flip out, but it came out kind of like sideways. Okay, and that's in the upright. Was the Page of Swords is the root chakra. Will Spirit guide me? Spirit guide me for the timeless energy. 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 Knight of Swords. And it's in the reverse. I know they're glossy and they're hard to see. I'm not going to be waving these around. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me for the timeless energy for today. Protection and guidance for the timeless energy today. Protection and guidance for the timeless energy today. And that one did flip out. Oops. And I have the Judgment in reverse. As you will notice, I'm going to ask for an extra smudging. As I had a little bit of a cold. I'm not putting out the content. Everybody's already heard that I'm in the process of moving. But you will notice that my donations thing is gone. My email has changed. And I had some difficulty obtaining donations if they were made. because of my computer breaking down. So I just took that off. Okay. Now, with the Page of Swords, our first card. Pages are messengers. And I like the pages because that is the one thing I do remember about the pages is they're usually messengers. But the swords energy, when we're talking about a youthful energy in most cases, the youthful energy of the swords in the page is, in most cases, because it's a messenger, in order to carry the message, they have to collect the information. And the one thing that really sticks out when natural curiosity becomes an issue is the sneaky pursuit of the information. We're definitely dealing with a youthful energy. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. In some cases, it could be an older person, but with the page, it is a messenger. And the youthful energy is basically, in order to carry that information from one person, we're talking about maybe gossip. Okay? We are talking about the root chakra. The Gemini and the Sun. Gemini and the Sun. Alright. So, it's an air sign. And the root chakra is basically the energy that your needs are covered. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a very happy camper. You have basic needs are basic needs. We need to be grateful for what we do have, okay? But in this case, this page is a messenger. There might be some delays. Patience might be needed. One energy that I don't really care for in the swords is unconcerned with the feelings of others. But this is heavy, heavy, heavy communication. With the Gemini energy. Have you ever known a Gemini? This does not have to be a person. I try to focus on energies, and sometimes I can't avoid seeing that we're communicating here in my message about an individual or a group of people. But I try to focus, and this is the first card. We are talking about Gemini energy. We're talking about the Sun. And with the Gemini is also a curious energy, which actually is the same as the page. Curiosity, how to get that information, being curious about what's going on, and how to be sneaky in their pursuit of getting that information, because you know what, you can't pass on that message unless you actually know what is actually going on. This borders on spying. And I have had a lot of downloads. And I don't know where this energy is coming from, but I have had a lot of downloads that actually indicate not just spying, but recording devices, video surveillance technology. Of course, in our world today, that has become a normal or a common thing. Putting trackers on somebody's vehicle. It might not be somebody that you know. Maybe it is some really weird person who just wants to know where you're going so that they can accidentally show up whenever you run your errands. It could be anything, but you know what? The thing is the technology that we surveil everything. And I've been getting some downloads on this feeling that you're being watched. Now, this page energy is a messenger, but in order to gather the information to know what they're dealing with, there is a borderline kind of stalking, spying information. This is like, sometimes it could be like a mental illness, a voyeurism. You need to, you're not like willing to communicate one-on-one, but you need to know what's being said by somebody, or listen and see if they're saying anything about you personally. Now, this might not be the fact. This is just from my downloads, that the surveillance technology has been hitting me really, really hard. The curiosity could become a problem. It could get out of balance. The thing about it is, if we're going to be balanced in our life, we need to be balanced in our choices and our decisions. And there are some times where you just need to let go of what everybody else is doing around you and focus on what you need to focus on. You don't always have to know everything. And with the Page of Swords being a youthful energy that will tend to be a little sneaky in their pursuit of what's going on, okay? Does not have to be a child, but a little sneaky about what is actually going on. Okay, in order to be the bearer of energy. And this is ruled by the air. Okay. Verbal announces, we all on social media. Verbal announcements, videos. Is there truth to this? Is this real? So much of it can be fabricated. And the root chakra basically relies on the fact that you feel like you're protected and cared for. But to keep in mind that that's how you feel. But there might also be something, that maybe you don't see coming. The page, after gathering this information in whatever way they do it, is going to be the bearer of. Now the next energy here is the Knight of Swords. I'm not going too far. One card, one page in the book. Okay. But the Knight of Swords is connected, a little older. The Knight of Swords is the problem solver. So first they get the information. And they have to absorb the content, take a serious look at what exactly is the situation, and determine what the problem, what the solution. This could be day-to-day stuff, okay? I like day-to-day energy because you know what? Most of us are day-to-day, paycheck to paycheck. We're not in the news, most of us. The Knight of Energy is not really, really big on stepping in. They just happen to be the best one for the job. Okay? They have the ability to articulate with rivals. They have the ability to take the information from the page energy and see, without any effort at all, the entire picture. Okay, the perception is pretty accurate. And that's really, really important with this situation, because the Knight of Swords can bring change. Okay, where you could be challenged, or you might be forced to make a decision or react with a quickness. The Knight of Swords energy is perceptive. It is actually the energy of a person that can be counted on or relied on. Trust me from experience. Usually the person that can be counted on, or the person that can be relied on, is the option on your Rolodex, because you're focusing on everybody but that person. But when you have a problem, that's the person that you call. Now, I don't know why, but that just seems the way things happen. because it is a Swords energy, and this is in reverse. This could be deceitful. This could be cutting the cords. This could be an energy of you're dealing with somebody who's very bossy. Probably somebody who is in charge, who wants to show that they're in charge or that they're bossy. They know what's going on. This is what the problem is. This is how it's going to be solved. You don't have any say in it. This is the reverse energy of the Knight. And we have to begin here with the collection of what's going on. Gathering the data, passing on the message. This is what's happening. Okay. This still results right back to what? An air sign? My apologies. We're not. I had to cancel yesterday because of that cough. I'm sorry. We're dealing with an air sign. Okay. The only problem here is the Knight of Swords, whether it's upright or whether it's reverse, is Mars. And the same thing, Aquarius. Mars with Aquarius. A very big difference from Gemini and the Sun. Even if it's in reverse. A very big difference from Gemini and the Sun. The thing about it is the Mars. You might be dealing with somebody who's very bossy and says you basically don't have any say in this. And you know what? They are in the habit of basically saying you don't have any say in this. So you kind of throw in the towel and say, okay, whatever. And just let it slide and walk on by. Okay. But this could be tactless. This is somebody, or the energy of somebody, who is opposing or upsets your plans. And this is rude. And this is tactless. With the Aquarius energy, okay, normally you're dealing with assertive energy. But in reverse, it goes a step beyond. Okay, this could be impulsive. Alright. The thing about it is with the Mars, which, by the way, has been mentioned in the very coming up, like, astro forecast, which I listen to, but I am not a professional in that industry. But I do believe that there is some Mars energy, because you know what? We're coming up into an eclipse. We're coming up into Libra energy eclipse. And the one thing that I do know is that Mars and Libra are not compatible. And I don't remember all of the details. I'm not going to try. Okay, but this is the Mars and Aquarius. And Aquarius is the energy of somebody that might not be, they're a little bit on the insecure side, which is why they're going overboard to be the authority and maybe come off as a little bit uncaring, insensitive, rude. This is the way, my way, or the highway type of feelings. Okay, but they've gathered the information, the youthful energy of, no matter how it was collected. And my downloads have basically been hitting me left and right. That some information that's being gathered is being done in a sneaky kind of way. But whoever that information is leading to, that Knight of Swords, that energy is in reverse. My apologies. It's in reverse. And the way that happens, to be in reverse like that, it changes the energy of the person. If the Knight of Swords is a person that you're dealing with, it does change the energy, because it can be cutting the cord. It could be walking away. It could be somebody who's very bossy and making it very clear that they're the ones making the decision and you don't have anything to say about it. It could be deceitful. It could be somebody who's actually not telling you the truth because, you know what, information is on a need-to-know basis. And if you're the boss and you don't want somebody to know, yeah, I'm a lot more generous with this person than that person, and I can't help you. I am going to deceive you into making you believe that I don't have it, because you know what? I don't, actually. I have given it to somebody else. My time, my attention, my money. Okay? There's a little bit of a deceitful energy in the reverse. But this is after the energy of collecting this information and the downloads that have been hitting me, and this was supposed to be yesterday's read. I will say this one more time and not say it again. My downloads have basically been picking up on surveillance, and not necessarily legal surveillance. Surveillance that you're unaware of when you speak or when you do things, if you're being followed. I would suggest, with the way I've been feeling, that if you have children and they drive, check underneath the cars and make sure there are no tracker devices underneath those cars. Kids can be a little bit on the mischievous side with some of this stuff that they're able to get their hands on. Okay, make sure that the safety of your children or the safety of your family, that nobody is being followed by somebody who can pull up their phone and see exactly where your wife parked to run into the grocery store, or where your daughter is, okay? Unless, of course, you put that there. Okay. Now, the next one is the Judgment energy, and this is Pluto and the crown chakra. And now I know that the Knight of Swords is the heart energy, and the heart energy, I forgot to mention, by the way, the heart energy. This is something that will probably be close to your heart. And if you're talking about, you're working on something that's very important to you, okay, and you're in charge, and in reverse, you're going to make sure that somebody knows that basically this was my decision. And, they're not even going to apologize for the fact that that decision was made because you were the one who's in charge. These are the facts. I'm the one in charge. And you know what? Being a little rude about it, or, the energy of that, the bossiness or whatever, in reverse. But the Judgment is also in reverse. The Judgment is the crown chakra. And I like to mention the crown chakra because with the crown you have diversified interests. But what is right is not always normal. That is my favorite definition of the crown chakra. And with the Pluto energy, by the way, Pluto was also in the astro cast that I watched. I don't remember all the details of that, and stealing somebody else's information and calling myself a professional, that's just not my thing. But the Judgment thing is like a call. Okay. My apologies. That's okay. This is a free video. Nobody ever sends me anything, and I don't do personals. I just am getting over this, and my daughter gave it to me. Okay. Now, the Judgment is usually evaluating. And this is in reverse. So it's a negative judgment. It could be a lack of self-awareness, because the one person that anybody who's going to be judgmental about is going to be themselves. Even looking in a mirror and trying to be honest. It is very, very, very hard to pass judgment on yourself. But this is a lack of self-awareness, and the judgment here could be self-absorbment, You're self-absorbed. You criticize, and maybe it's unhealthy. You could be criticizing yourself. But the negative judgment. And the thing that this is important, because so far we've gathered the information, and so far we've determined that somebody's in charge, and they're not going to be really nice about letting you know that they're the ones making the decision whether you like it or not, my way or the highway, and now you have judgment, and it's in reverse. The negative judgment is there's been some kind of assessment with whatever it is, and do not take this if it's not resonating with you and make it yours. But there's been some kind of negative judgment by somebody about whatever you are immediately dealing with. This might have interested, a person in looking into something, studying something, researching something. If it were in the upright, that's what I would say. But in reverse, it focuses on the energy of a person or a group of people that tend to be negative and judgmental. And when you're dealing with, some readers call them haters, but you know what? Let's not go that far. We're not putting labels on people. We're talking about people that tend to be negatively judgmental. It doesn't matter who they're looking at or what they're dealing with. Okay? If you're not on the right side of the fence, you're going to be judged in a negative way. And this won't be fair. This will be done, in most cases, from my experience, as a collective group. Okay? And in the case with the person that has possibly done something wrong, but probably has not necessarily, might be completely innocent. But in the group, there's been some kind of negative passing of judgment. Unless there are some things that we can't fight about, or fight, with. I mean, you can be on the phone all day and talk to every single person that you work with in the company, but you know what? If the majority of them just don't like you and they're going to criticize you, whether or not you're doing anything wrong or not, and the bottom line is you should start moving on. Because this is what this energy is. This is, I'm in charge, my way or the highway. In the negative form of the Knight of Swords, you've collected the information. The facts are sitting right here in front of me. And if it's just an individual or if it's a group, this judgment is in reverse. Now, this could be the self-reflection of somebody who is insecure and who is passing judgment on themselves. This is not actually a good habit to make, because that could lead into other issues that stop you. Was the positive energy of feeling good about yourself is very important with everything that you do on a daily basis. And if you start self-reflecting and being negative about yourself, that's kind of hard to deal with. In the long run, it can be extremely damaging. On the other hand, if it's a group of people that you would love to get along with, but nobody seems to be, if they are coming across in a positive way, you're picking up instinctively that they're not being right, or they're not being honest, or they're being fake. Privately, behind the scenes, you find out via word of mouth or gossip. Otherwise, okay, passing judgment negatively. Normally done in a group, and I say that normally done in a group because we all find strength in groups. Everybody does. Well, some of us are loners, but most people decide to pack up as a group and all basically have the same judgment or whatever when things happen, because, it's safer that way. to be all on the same page. And you know what? In this particular energy, I'm seeing that there is no concern for the person that's being hurt in the situation. In some cases, that's a good thing. The person that is not being accepted can find a different path, and that might be, in the long run, a better thing. Now, clarifying cards. This is a deck that was given to me. And with the Page of Swords, I have Temperance. I have to read these because even though the Temperance... Isn't that pretty? I love the colors of these cards. Is a major arcana. This deck here is different. Okay. Was my daughter got this for me. I love the colors. I love the artwork. The Temperance is moderation, balance, and neutrality. It is finding your center. Okay. It identifies the excesses in your life. It basically to take a break from them. Now, the Page of Swords is the gathering of information. The Page is a messenger. So, if we're having excesses, and we're talking gathering of information and sharing of, or passing judgment, mainly information of the air sign energy here, you could be talking about a little bit of moderation or restraint when it comes to the gossiping. With the downloads that I've had for like technology and surveillance. This is a push to a regular, more like balanced, regular situation. You know, taking the neutral path or sitting on a fence. A situation where you can see this person's, point of view, and you can see that person's point of view, and everybody wants you to jump off that fence and take a side. But the Temperance energy here is basically you're collecting information. You're going to be passing on messages, but you're not taking sides. You're too smart for that. You want to be neutral about it. You want to be the pacemaker. And this is in the upright. This card was, if you're into the reflection thing, this card could represent with the Temperance that you are evaluating yourself in a certain way. Just like this one here. The only thing is you're analyzing your own personal habits and your own personal routines. And you're trying to evaluate maybe the things that are harmful in your life. So this is kind of like the gathering of information. If you are evaluating on this level, when you're collecting information, you are also evaluating things that are harmful in your life. Those are to be a given there with the Gemini and the Sun, because the Gemini is heavy on the conversation, but it's also inconsistent, and in a certain way, you can find some inconsistency in that Page of Swords because of the Gemini energy. With the Sun, it has everything to do with your individuality or your ego. And if you're analyzing yourself, like you did here, and you're going, this is not helping me. It might not be your personal choice. It might be somebody else's choice. It might be something that's actually just blocking you from getting from point A to point B. Something that you're just not. It's always a problem. Okay. You're analyzing it. And that's gathering of information too. That information with the Page is probably going to be passed on. In whichever way, text message, phone call, your body language, you're letting them know, my way or the highway, my way or the highway. Okay. But first you have to gather that information. You really need to know What is it that's blocking your path? What is it that's interfering with the things that are close to your heart? Okay? The things that maybe you have a deadline. Maybe this is important. Alright. With the crown chakra coming up here at the end. What was that again? A little crown chakra. Was my nose. You could be open to new ideas. And you can have conversations without, forming negative opinions or taking it personally. So with this judgment card, you can, if you're handled in the right way, or if you handle it in the right way, you can have a conversation. That's usually the best way. With the Mars sticking out all over the place. This weekend in the Astrocast, by the way. That's not the cards. Mars. Which is not going to be compatible with the Libra energy, which is really usually balanced. Okay. With the Knight of Swords, I have Judgment in reverse. Oh my goodness. I love these colors. I absolutely love these colors. And the thing about it was my throat. I had to stop. I always tell people that nobody ever gives me anything, and finally give me something. They gave me a cold. Now the Judgment in reverse. This is the energy of reflecting on yourself again. In reverse. Gaining an understanding of what's running your life. Your pattern, your habits, the routines, the things you have to do, the things you can't get out of, the things that are creating problems. So again, you're reflecting. With the Knight of Swords, energy below it. Was my way or the highway? You're in charge. You've gathered this information. You're the one who's going to be making the choices. You're the one who's calling the shots. But here, maybe you're growing up a little bit with the Knight as far as, you've collected all the information. You're really good at what you're doing here. But you're gaining a little bit of, a greater understanding or knowledge. Now, this Judgment in reverse calls for forgiveness. And there are so many people that find that word too long to spell. And that's unfortunate because you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, when you go through your lifetime and you are always the one who forgives everyone and they have no idea how much damage they have done, and collectively over 40 years, you are always the first one to forgive. Sometimes you do reach a point where it gets a little harder. And I know that is one of the most important things in the world, to let go, to forgive. The problem is that if somebody's going to hurt you, they're going to do it on a repetitive kind of basis. If they've done it before, even if you've forgiven it or overlooked it or explained it, it's going to happen again eventually. If that person is going to be like that, okay, at some point you're going to reach where you probably want to invest your time and energy around people that are not going to disappoint you. The problem is, as human beings, if we walk away from one situation, we're going to walk into another situation that is spot on identical. And the people will know, there won't be any different. The only difference is the one that's already disappointed you, you already know what to expect. And the person that you meet and the new situation, you haven't been disappointed by them before. So when it happens, you'll be just maybe surprised. You already have the experience of being disappointed. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Because we, as humans, make mistakes, and it has to do with the people around us. Well, as the judgment calls that you forgive yourself for the choices that you make. We're not pointing blame at somebody else because you've hurt somebody. The bottom line is you're more compatible with the other situation. You made the choices that you made for your own personal reasons. And this is gaining an understanding of a repetitive pattern in some cases. I know that people say trust, play it safe, will and get you so far. Trust, jump right out there. When we're talking about Aquarius, we're talking about the Mars, which is in the astrocast this weekend. We are going to feel that Mars is not compatible with the upcoming eclipse with the Libra. But we're talking aggressive energy here with this. And we're talking about maybe somebody who's insecure and energy. And we're talking about judgment with the Knight of Swords. My way or the highway. I've got all the information. It's been handed to me. It's on my desk. I've made this decision. This is the problem. This is the solution. This is my decision. And then you have judgment in reverse. To forgive yourself. But the choices that you have to make, sometimes you don't have a choice. I mean, you really reach a point sometimes where you really just don't have a choice. But in the case where you're the one in charge, you have to learn to forgive yourself. And that is, you can't just play just hope that this isn't going to happen again. Because this obviously has become a problem. Okay. Somebody has to make the choice. Somebody has to make the decision. You've gathered the information. Okay, let's see. One more card here for the judgment on the third space. The third space. And we do apologize about my sniffy nose. Was something different. I have the Queen of Cups. Now, this is in the upright and the judgment card is in reverse. The judgment is the crown chakra. Alright. Well, as we mentioned with the crown chakra before, and I like looking at the chakras. I don't have them all memorized, but, just a quick reminder, the crown chakra. The crown chakra could be like changes. You can adapt to changes. You can adapt. But the one that I like about the crown chakra, the best, is the receiving of the guidance. When you're dealing with the judgment card, you're dealing with the judgment card that's in reverse. Okay. Being self-absorbed, a negative judgment energy. Okay. Now, I point out that this could be a lack of self-awareness because you know what? You're in charge here. I don't think that maybe you're not aware of who you are because you've already said my way or the highway. And this here says basically if you're making the decisions and you're calling the shots, sometimes you need to forgive yourself. So with this judgment card being in reverse, I seriously do not feel the lack of self-awareness. No. I see the negative judgment. I see the possibility of being self-absorbed. The possibility of being self-absorbed if somebody outside of yourself has passed a negative judgment. And you know it. You're going to make yourself very busy. Are you not? Okay. It doesn't change the fact that you're in charge. It doesn't change the fact that you've collected the information, you've seen what the problem is for what it was, the decision has to be made, and you're the one who's calling the shots. But if you're the one being judged, it's not like you're going inward and beating yourself up. It's like if you're being judged, this energy here. Now, the Page of Cups. It encourages you to open your mind a little bit. And you could have a spontaneous connection with, an outsider, a stranger, a brand new opportunity, and run across something who points out a different way to look at something. That's usually the way it happens. I know that the stranger waltzing into the life, handing you the solution of everything that's just going to make everybody happy, that is a dream that's just not going to happen. But you could be having a conversation with somebody who makes you look at the situation in a different way. And this actually alleviates a little bit of this negative energy of where you feel like you're being judged. You could feel like you're being judged and actually not be in that situation at all. You're just imagining it. But you might receive something unexpected. Okay. And this could be unexpected in the good way, or this could be unexpected in the bad way. Maybe somebody has plans, and you already know these plans, but you don't know the details, and then you find out the details and you're disappointed because they have really let you down. Okay, this is something that's unexpected, the energy of this cup and the Queen. It's not negative, but the thing about it is you could receive something unexpected. It is not always positive. It can go either way. In achieving your goals with the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups mentions being a little bit on the naive side and following or trusting your intuition. I have not seen any intuition in this read. I have seen maybe small self-esteem issues where you're not having a lot of confidence. And now here it mentions being naive a little bit to a certain extent. We're starting with the Page energy, we're going to the Knight energy, we're going to a major arcana. Okay, your way or the highway, you're in charge. You're looking at a youthful energy who's got a lot on their plate. They're making the decision, they saw the problem. All of the information has been turned in. This might be the energy of naive. So you fall back on your intuition. You don't have a choice. You are not completely informed about everything. You cannot possibly be completely informed about everything. Unless, of course, you are planting microphones all over the place and spend countless hours listening to conversations of every single person on your Rolodex. There is absolutely no way you can be completely informed of everything. But being naive is a totally different story. Being naive is telling yourself, oh, that would never happen because that person would never do that to me. And that's sometimes a really big mistake. Now, with the Pluto energy is also a long-term generational energy. And once I see change, maybe small, little changes. Decisions, nothing really, really big or heavy in this particular read. But if it were a change it would have an impact. It might be a long-term change. And also, one more thing. If it were a change, this is caused by upheaval. It's something you really can't avoid. It is the decision that has to be made, caused by some kind of upheaval, that's going to just continue to repeat itself, and something has to be done. So maybe not like long-term generational, but definitely caused by some type of upheaval. Now, I apologize one more time for my sniffles. We're going to end this here. We're going to pull the Oracle of E. We're going to do one of these. And let's just see what our Oracle energy is. These are new. I've used them maybe once. They're plastic coated. They're very hard to shuffle. We're just wanting one of the Oracle of E's. And it does also come with a guidebook, which I have to, read. It was, trying to do, laser beam. Let's see what laser beam says. Bring your attention back to center. Back to your intention. You've been wavering a bit. All it takes to achieve your desires is a little bit of concentration. Focus on what you want. Focus again for extra laser-like precision and clarity. Relish the sweet feelings of zeroing in on that finish line. And this is actually the same kind of energy what I said. You are gathering information about something that is causing upheaval, and you need to focus with a laser-like attention on what you're trying to work on. No matter who you are, you need to give it your 100%. Now, donations are available, or the possibility of sending me. Donations are available. I had to put a new email in it will be in the description box. Donations are always welcome. Trust me, I'm moving and I don't have it. Liking and subscribing are more important, because the biggest thing that I'm having a problem with is getting my videos actually seen and put out there. I do not know what's wrong with my computer. I did have it fixed. So, if you're seeing this video, thank goodness. Please like and subscribe. Help me build my channel. I think the more subscribers I get, the easier it will be for me to get what I'm doing, my content out there. I will be breaking down this video into small edits and shorts, which are easier to absorb. I also have my other channel, Out the Door Energy of the Day, which I do the 2-card, and I put that out every morning that I possibly have the opportunity to do. So yes, please like, please subscribe. There is a link for my new email in the description box. And have a nice day. Thank you very much for visiting me and spending your time with Timeless Energy, and I welcome you back anytime. I really am very grateful.